took. So I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to jump into my outline. This was for the last 3 weeks of our class, first 3 weeks of our class. So a lot of times I read about how the family life educators saw the need for the education in the community and for families. But the families in the community or in the businesses didn't see a big need for that. And I think that's a problem because if we want to go in and educate and address these people, then we're going to be able to need to find out why they don't think it's important to come to these classes or sessions. So, in my marriage class a few years ago, I learned about how couples, they typically don't take preventative measures against getting a divorce unless they start counseling in classes when they've only realized that they do have a problem and it needs to be fixed. So, for example, I think of it as we only start exercising when the doctor says that we're overweight and we need to start exercising, but we don't take the preventative measures first by continually exercising and eating a good balanced diet. So again, how can we help these people see a need for family life educators in our education? I think one main thing is better advertising. We learned about marketing this week, but overall, I think we need to bombard the media, bombard it with commercials, ads, articles, really get people thinking about the benefits to taking preventative matters and be able to take education so that they can first learn how to have a good marriage or how to have um, preventative measures before the problems arise in their life. So one thing that I think that I can do really well at in helping family life education go to areas that have a lot of poverty or just address the undeserved groups in the world is my ability to be assertive and willing to ask certain questions and talk to people that are in charge of things. For example, um, for a family and child advocacy class that I took, I interviewed a therapist and I was able to talk about and learn about the needs of the people in Utah County, where I reside right now. The needs to me were surprising, and I wouldn't have known how how bad of a need that was unless I talked to someone in that field. So I think we need to use our assertiveness and not be shy about talking to directors of homeless shelters, of outreach centers, and asking them how we can help the people and what the people really need. These directors and people, they have compassion, and so do we. We want to help these people, and so we can use that combined compassion and work together to address these goals and help people. So, how can we help people and analyze what they need? Um, for example, we may be teaching a workshop, and the students there may not even know why they're there. But when we, as the family life educators, know what they need, we can teach and address to the needs and then enlighten them and help them to be able to change. So the whole point, I think, of education isn't just to fill an empty bucket, but it's to fill that bucket and use what's inside. The family life educator can't even fill the bucket if their aim is not on target for the needs of the audience and what the audience is really thirsting for. I'm sure you've probably met people where you see that they have a need, but they don't realize that need. We can use that ability to address their needs and help them realize that they really do need this education in their life. So, this last week, again, we talked a lot about marketing and we read a lot about it. And I worked at Target, so a business, for several years, and I looked at how they marketed for their Target Red Card. They really wanted their customers to be able to sign up for the Target credit or debit card because they did research and had statistics on those people that did have the red card shopped at Target more. And so they wanted their business. So they would also use advertisement sources such as the media, like TV. They would do it in store. They would tell the workers to talk about it, and they would tell the people who are satisfied with the red card to go out and tell their friends about it. The target people also knew their audience and demographics. So, me as a former worker there, they taught us that a huge part of the target shoppers were the mothers. So mothers who come in and get baby things or other things. And so all of these things taught me how to look at family life education. I want to know the audience, the demographics, the statistics. I want to know how I can outreach into the community and be able to help them get excited about the topics that we're going to address. So, in family life education, my personal approach is the interventionist. So, I believe that faith without works is dead, and therefore, knowledge without application is just foolishness. And that's my own quote. The text mentioned that they believe that education for family life goes beyond simply learning for knowing, but extends to learning for living. So I believe that wholeheartedly. What really got me into this major was the seemingly application that I could do with the knowledge. I wasn't going to go into anything like mathematics or something where a lot of the knowledge that I would gain would just be applicable for a certain career. But I wanted to be able to apply the knowledge to several things in my life. Um, so I really like things like the book Seven Principles for Making Marriage Work because not only does it educate us, but it also has surveys or other fun things in the book to help us apply what we're learning for our own marriages. And even though I know that the best approach is the eclectic approach, which is a combination of everything, personally, I think my strength is the approach, interventionist approach. And I'm going to use that for my workshop. And so this was a little bit about my last 3 weeks of what I've learned so far. And I had to keep it really short, but I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.